And how do I feel about preachers and sneakers? We are in such a digital world now today where social media like Instagram is such an important part of our daily lives. It's an important part of how we connect to each other, and it's become a very vital tool for the church and for many church leaders, in which we can get sermons and podcasts and sermon quotes and clips from the best communicators around the world. And with that has come not just hearing them audibly, but also seeing them visually. And so you end up seeing them on stage or in front of their church teaching and preaching, and you see what they're wearing, and specifically their sneakers. And so this count has kind of come out of nowhere, if you will, preachers and sneakers, and it's got a ton of attention. I actually follow the account myself. I wear sneakers, and occasionally I preach at my church, and I think it's an important part of who I am. I grew up playing basketball. Sneakers remind me of my childhood, of the things that I enjoy and love. They're artistic, right? They're a part of the clothes and the story we tell about ourselves to other people. They're a cultural artifact, right, that we share and use to connect with other people as things that we like and value and enjoy. But also, with this account kind of rising up, it's got a lot of attention, and a lot of it has been negative feedback, especially from Christians, which is something you can always count on when it comes to social media accounts. Christians who follow a loving Jesus and a Savior who died for them are very quick to forget that and be quick to judge. And unfortunately, we don't have close proximity to these individuals who wear nice clothes and wear nice sneakers on stage. And so it's hard for us to make an assessment about their life, their wallet, and where they spend their money if we don't actually know them, right? Even though, the tag is posted as like, man, that's pricey what they're wearing. I think it's important for us to use it as an opportunity maybe to investigate further who they are, what their ministry is about, what they give to and how they give regularly, right? Proximity allows us to see those things out further before we make a final judgment on pastors. We do want to avoid this kind of poverty gospel that Christians should be about wearing lowly things and cheap things. We ought to be resourceful and shrewd with our money and careful stewards of what God has given to us and what the church gives to us to manage and give back to the world as we seek to see God's kingdom come. Right? Those things are all absolutely true. But we should be careful about what we say that person is wearing and if that is right or wrong or if they are in sin, because we don't know if it was a gift. Right? We don't know what their account looks like. We don't know where they're getting these things from, right? And how much they might give back to an organization that maybe you have no idea of, right? And so if you come across this account, you see preachers and sneakers, use that opportunity, number one, to pray for their ministry. Pray for them, that God would continue to use them and that they would humble themselves before God and continue to be a shepherd over their flock and a powerful communicator of the gospel to the world and to their church and community. But also maybe investigate what are the organizations that they're connected to? Who do they give to before we decide to comment and make the final judgment that, man, they are completely wrong for what they're wearing. I just think, again, proximity to these individuals is so important, and reminding ourselves that, man, God is using these people in particular ways. They are made in His image, and so they are full of dignity, whether they're in Jordans or sandals, right? So we should be careful about the kind of conclusions that we jump to before actually considering the whole person, the whole church, the whole ministry, and the kind of impact they're making. The account is up, man. It's got tons of followers. The owner, I know, is a believer, loves Jesus and loves the church, and is just kind of finding it interesting that pastors have picked up sneakers, which have always been a cool thing. Let's get that straight, right? Sneakers have always been in. If you're a sneakerhead like me, you know this. This has been a part of hip-hop culture and athletic culture, and it's been around. And right now, it's just something that pastors like to wear too. Maybe it's because they want to be cool, they want to be hip, right? That's obviously a clear thing about church leaders today. But let's just be really careful about how we move forward in making final judgments about individuals.